everyone, and welcome back to Life Refueled. Today's topic will be on the interruption of interest, so please stay tuned and enjoy the rest. Something that we're going to talk about is how interest can go two ways. Interest could be something that you're interested in. Interest can also be something that is accumulated along as far as credit or as far as interest on a loan or something like that. So it depends on what interest you're talking about. So we're going to go over to interest. So it's going to be interest and interest. So that was kind of the theme of today's show or today's episode. So first, we're going to start off by talking about interest, like what you're interested in. Throughout my college career, that's something that I always ask myself: what are you interested in? What is something that you solely want to focus on, or something that you solely want to get into? And I think something as far as like the interest that I had was becoming a substance abuse counselor. Long story short, from my childhood, my grandmother is a substance abuse counselor, someone that I've always looked up to for a very long time, strong, independent black woman, and I appreciate the skills and the skill sets that she instilled in me. Just simply being able to be a helping hand to those who don't really have access to this or don't really have access to a substance abuse counselor or someone who is a counselor of sort. So that is the reason why I want to become a substance abuse counselor. I've always had an interest in helping others. I've always had an interest in making sure that everyone is being treated appropriately and everyone is being treated the same way, and making sure that resources are available to those who resources weren't available to in the beginning. Then going along with that, I also want to reach out to my community as far as the African American or Black community, because I know that it is very hard for us to actually, it's really extremely hard for us to actually share information. It's hard for us to open up, basically, is what I was going to say. It's really hard, and who knows why, but that's why I want to be that help, right? That's why I want to be that person that, if you feel that you need to have someone to speak to about a certain issue or about something that you're facing, something that you're struggling with, I want to be that person who helps. Yeah. So that is all I have to say about interest. But, feel free to drop a comment in the comments saying what you're interested in. Some things that you like to do. And some things that that you do that are just you. And so next we're going to jump right in and we're going to talk about actual interest and how it is how interest accumulates, things of that nature. So yeah, get ready. We're going to go over the definition of what interest actually is. So I'm going to read the definition. Interest in finance and economics is a payment from a borrower or deposit-taking financial institution to a lender or depositor of an amount above repayment of the principal sum that is the amount borrowed at a particular rate. So when we're talking about interest, as far as when you're borrowing money, or you're borrowing funds from a bank, if you're borrowing from a private loan lender, sometimes it will accumulate interest. Prime example, when I go back and I talk about my credit card, we always hit on what's the interest rate, just simply because you want to know what you're going to be charged for having that money, right? So essentially, you're getting charged for borrowing money. Prime example, with my Discover Student Card, I had interest start after 6 months. Some credit card companies will give you a couple months. Some credit card companies or some personal loan companies or some loan companies will give you a certain amount of months. But that is what interest is. It's kind of having that build up of funds, or not even that build up of funds, but it's that money that is being owed, on top of what is already being owed back. So say for instance, Jimmy borrows $50 from me, I'm going to charge interest of 25 cents per day until Johnny is able to pay me back that $50. Let's say I give Johnny a grace period of a week. So after that week, I start charging the interest starting on that Monday. Starting that Monday at 8 a.m., I start charging interest because the banks typically are opening and running by 8 a.m. on Monday, banking hours, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's banking hours. So I will start charging Johnny 25 cents starting on Monday at 8 a.m. So if Johnny doesn't pay me back till, let's say I gave him a week, if he doesn't pay me back till 2 weeks after. So if I give him that week already, he has 2 more weeks. Johnny will have interest that would be $3.50 because Johnny didn't pay me back. So 14 days after he already had that week of grace period. So Johnny reached that week of grace period. Johnny did not pay me back until 2 weeks later. So that's 7 days, 14 days. Johnny didn't pay me back. So that is how interest is accumulated. And it also, some banks do it different. Some loan sharks do it different, where you are able to, that interest is stacked on top of of what you already owe. That's how some banks do it. And so I found it fun and I found it interesting just to see if we can tie in what are you interested in and what is interest. Let me tell you why those two to me was a fun idea because they play hand in hand. But that was just something that I wanted to tie together. That I thought it just be fun, interest. Uh, so yeah, please feel free to mention anything that you guys or that anyone thinks that I should talk about next. What should be my next topic? Are you guys feeling this type of setup? Do I need to start actually going outside more and exploring the world? Cause I'm down with that as well. But just let me know what you guys are interested in. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share. There will be new content coming up. I think that I'm going to start probably doing new content every week. We'll see about that because life is busy. And yeah, so we'll see about that. But my next topic that I will be talking about is what is social capital. Social capital will be next as well. I think we're gonna hit on social capital next. But yes, so thank you guys for tuning in. Next time we will be talking about social capital. So don't forget to like, subscribe, favorite. Go ahead and comment what you're interested in, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.